travelers and tourists. My name is Mark, and I'm the local disaster tour guide. Welcome back to Storytelling and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, where we are playing through Wrath of the Righteous, made by Owlcat Games. It's based off of the Pathfinder First Edition adventure path of the same name. And basically, the goal of this series is to play this game and look at it through the eyes of a storyteller. We want to look at the ways that Owlcat and Paizo chose to tell their story, and we want to see what we can learn as storytellers ourselves. And so we're playing through, and we're just seeing what we can discover. The hero of this journey is a dwarven stalker deliverer archetype. His name is Grymstone. He is good-hearted but hot-headed, and he is quick to charge into battle, but he truly desires to help others. Okay, it is not a mixed-up save file. All right. It just looked funny on the screen. Okay, that's easy enough. So anyways, we are at the Defender's Rest in Canabras. We have been given a number of different errands to try to go out and do. And basically, we are going to dive into the second act of this game and see how the story progresses. Okay. Basement, area exit, area exit. Okay. Got some survivors sitting outside. That's to the basement. Crusader, Crusader. Again with the looting, which just always feels weird. Okay. Alright, we got Market Square. Thieflings Hideout. Blackwing Library, which looks like it's going to take us to Market Square anyways. Grey Garrison. The Silken Thread Atelier. Oh, wow, there is a lot of stuff to explore on this map. Alright. Let's examine Woljeef real quick. He's an unarmored rogue. Never mind. Okay. Not an archer, so we'll just kind of stick him in the middle there. Okay. You know what? Might as well figure out what is up with Woljeef, and then I can work through the rest of the city. Fallen horse. The bloody carcass of a strong steed with a broken leg is covered in mangled armor. The saddlebag is intact. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. Sure, why not? Accept. Okay. Alright, random encounter. Marauder Alchemist, Marauder Archer. Not seeing anybody else. Alright, Wolgief, you're up first. Let's go stab the alchemist. Sneak attack for the win. These were not very good marauders. They did not outnumber the people they were attempting to maraud. First tip, if you want to be a successful bandit, numbers. Okay. The basement is dark and dank, and you are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. Five of them are kneeling along the wall, separate from the rest. The tall woman, who had been cleansing her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Wolgief, you got my message then. Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear sister Charisme. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next, well no, I was still in shackles and I was being watched, and then Chief got me out, and I came here straight away. I knew you'd been waiting on me. I guess it's good we didn't stall. Enough talking or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away. But what happened? Irabeth showed up almost right away. She knew that we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us, and I have a good idea who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. This is an interesting situation to be in. How would Grymstone react? Part of me wants to make the lawful answer, even though Grymstone is not a lawful character. It's kind of how I'm thinking, but Wolgief, tell us your side of the story. What happened? Charisme turns to you. He speaks. I thought Wolgief only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. That's kind of why he brought me. What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Charisme got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me and those 5 over there, I mean. She rounds us up and says we got a score, ancestries and wonders, the one place nobody's ever been able to hit, that place that's guarded by a golem. But now a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with a tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted jug will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And the most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right with the locks and the golem. I picked the lock. I remember it clear as day. Sister Donna was on lookout. Brother Malroon had the scroll. Daffy, Tabby, and Vanir brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it, and next thing I know, Irabeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me up on my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off me, about 20,000 worth, and to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and didn't even manage to stash anything? Where's the moon of the abyss, Brother Wolgief? Two's a really smart question, but I don't know if Grymstone's smart enough to ask that question. What is the Moon of the Abyss? It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of Ancestries and Wonders. Sterling silver sparkled like a star, fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, a crescent, a waning moon, and in the middle there was a dark crystal, like the eclipsing of the moon. Old Man Philman was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, "I'll never sell it, it's the jewel of my collection." I used to go there to see what kinds of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canabras. People used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have guards on you in a second, the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around Ancestries and Wonders, drooling over the Moon of the Abyss. Did you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd all be locked up and you'd get off scot-free with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Go on, Woljif. That's the whole sorry story. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the Moon of the Abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's important to you, Sister Charisme, I'll find it, and I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just so you don't end up at the bottom of the shellin'. But do you know what you're gonna owe me for that? An apology. Right here in front of everyone, you're going to apologize loud and clear so everybody hears it. They'll say, "Sorry, Woljif, you're a good guy and I was wrong about you." Fine, you're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace, but one day you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that's when we'll get you. Got it? You've a way with words, Sister Charisme. A way that almost made me wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat with that scary gal Irabeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. Interesting. Yeah, Canabras is burning. Why are you squabbling? I'd be glad to leave like the rest of my brothers and sisters, but in the family, there's nothing worse than betrayal, and it's something we do not forgive. We don't forgive anyone who lets traitors off the hook either. If I don't find the rat, my superiors, let's just say, I'll wish I was burning in Canabras. I want to keep living, so I'm going to take a chance until I find out who is the traitor here. No one is leaving. Okay, we'll find the real traitor. I wonder how those guys who were planning a move on the Great Garrison are doing. Hello, that's interesting. Okay. Moon of the Abyss. Gotta find that. Alright. I'm sure that won't be a problem at all in a giant city. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who is your informant among the Thieflings? Canobris is threatened by a demon horde, and you have enough spare time to help out thieves. I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. This feels a little too easy. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the long horns, didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancestries and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word just in case. The golem itself was destroyed, but the head seems to be intact, so you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Irori. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance you'll get lucky with the golem. Okay. So we do know it was a tiefling, which, I mean, they're all tieflings, so not a huge surprise there. But let's go talk to Wolfchief and see if he has any more ideas. Your friends accuse you of betraying them. That must be hard. Like it's my first time. Every gang I've been in, I'm always the prime suspect when anything suspicious happens. There, because I'm a tiefling. Here, because of my reputation. And what kind of friends are tieflings to me, I ask you? I don't have friends. Yeah, sure, we're called family, but it's just a word. They call each other brother and sisters, but then one of them goes and rats out the others to hear Beth, some family. You think I'm weeping into my pillow at night because we've been together for so many years and they still don't trust me? I don't care. They'll come crawling back to me to apologize, but it'll be too late. I might forgive them, but only if they give me a bigger cut. Or maybe I won't. They should know I've got pride too. You think I'd be hanging out with those scumbags if life hadn't forced me into it? Maybe if I'd been born into a religious family, I'd be sipping rose tea with Sheldon's paladins instead of talking about how prettily the birds are singing today. If I had a rich daddy, I'd have rich friends, and they wouldn't even care if I was a tiefling. But life ain't fair, and instead of that nice life, I have thieflings who are ready to break my neck based on a hunch. They can all go hang. Ain't the last gang in Medev. I'll find a better one if they don't apologize. Fair enough. Alright, let's talk later. Alright. Might as well go rest really quick so that we don't have to try to do it out in the city.
What's the alcohol situation underground? Do you have anything to drown your sorrows in?
You bet. Whole crew is a gourmet's treat. And tourists from Absalom used to come to us for our mushroom infusion.
Alright. Stash some stuff real quick. Alright, back out on the hunt. Alright. So it looks like Market Square is just going to be the primary place that I need to go to if I'm going to hit any of these other goals. So Market Square it is. Haha, another fight scene. Okay, wasn't expecting that, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Got a giant fly somewhere. Why is a giant fly working with giant spiders? That just seems like poor planning.
Split you in half.
The spirits demand your blood.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
That's an interesting visual. Alright.
Save the last one for me. You are today's sacrifice.
Spear. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Good job, Lan.
Make way. Can you retreat already?
Okay. What do we got here? Marauder, and Marauder Illusionist. Alright. Yeah, Grymstone can get in there before.
Distract them from me.
Win initiative. Roll sneak attack. Win. Alright. Camellia.
Go for their heart.
You won't survive me. Yeah. Yeah. Time to share your treasures. I right you.
Into the fray.
Just want to say, I love how devastating sneak attack is. Win initiative, sneak attack, win the fight. I'm pretty sure I'm putting precise strike on my entire party in this game.
We'll make this quick. She won't feel a thing. I don't know. Can we really do this? Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She is dressed in rags that barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly as the people argue heatedly around her. It is as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in agitated circles above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
They're insane. We've got to do something.
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
Wow, I was not anticipating a story beat like this. Um, we're going to try talking, but I want to attack.
Our weapons barely scratch the demon's hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomade so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
Okay, now I really want to attack.
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's the correct answer here, though I kind of want to roll Intimidate too.
How do you know what the goddess wants or doesn't want?
I am Iomede's paladin. If I lie, then the goddess strike me down. What you intend to do is a repugnant crime and heinous blasphemy.
Thank you, Sela.
Exactly. What were you thinking? The goddess would never allow this.
Whose idea was this anyway? I think it was yours.
My idea? I was against the whole thing right from the start. Who said we needed to make a sacrifice?
Please don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. You just made a mistake. Please don't hurt them.
The little girl is defending the people who wanted to slaughter her a minute ago. She is either a saint or she's insane. Maybe the two together.
Hey, I know her. I see her all the time on the street. She's a couple of cards short of a full deck, if you know what I mean.
Hi. Remember when we used to play together when we were little? But then you went and got all big. And I stayed the same for some reason.
Huh? I played with you? Pull the other one.
You did. We played tag and hide and seek. Then you and the bigger boys came up with the game where you all threw stones at me. You laughed so hard, it made me happy too. Then you grew up and went away to do grown-up things. Wanna play with me now?
For the love of... Converse is too damn small.
Feel like I want to talk about this, but I'm gonna send the Crusaders back to Defender's Rests.
Thank you.
They're gone. And they all live. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already. We are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
I don't think you're an ordinary girl, and that crow you have there, it's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I
She named her crow Soot. That is adorable.
Now, Soot, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Okay, we're gonna say, who are you?
I'm Ember. I live here on the street for many years now, but there's nothing to say about me.
Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful when fighting the demons, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the street. Come with me. Yeah, I'm adopting this kid and I'm protecting her. I just became super protective of this girl.
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party? What could we possibly want with this sturdy little beggar?
Camellia, you're about a half second away from being thrown in the rift that Discari made.
Sure, let's go.
Alright, Alright. Ember is a neutral good elf. What's Bold Chief? Chaotic neutral. Yeah, I figured. Alright. She is a stigmatized witch, which is a class I don't think I ever got to play in 1E. She takes a penalty on weapon attack rolls because she has been badly burned. Okay. Point blank shot, precise shot. Mendevian Orphan. Atheism? That's wouldn't have really would have thought they would have gone with something for Rahadun there, but okay. Alright, she can put people to sleep with slumber. There's a Raven Familiar. Simple weapon for efficiency. Vulnerability Curse. This witch can make her enemies vulnerable to energy, lasts for a number of rounds equal to her level. Energy resistance and energy immunity are suppressed. Successful will save reduces this to just 1 round. Ooh. I don't have other wizards on my team yet. Well, I guess technically Wolchief, but that's gonna be interesting. Nature. Okay. So let's look at her spell book real quick. Alright. Ear piercing scream, burning hands, mage armor. Okay. But what does she have? Oh, she's a spontaneous caster? I thought witches were prepared casters in 1st edition, but maybe this archetype changes that? I'm sorry, I know I'm a little confused, and that's kind of a weird, and this is kind of a weird diversion, but okay, so I have a spontaneous caster wizard elf. Alright. Throw up a mage armor on yourself, and let's go into the house. Rat swarms. Ooh. I don't know if I have anything good against swarms. Okay. Below core rules, you can do half damage against swarms with your weapons. Okay. Sela.
No glory without risk.
endure this.
I'll cut you wide open.
Alright.
Out of my way!
Cover me, all right?
Oh, hey, we got a new recipe. And there's a secret room in this house. And a trap.
I am helpful, am I not? I hope you appreciate this.
Ember can identify items for me. Awesome. And cultist. Incomplete circle for a summoning ritual.
I did it.
Why did they let us summon a rock? Oh, okay. Okay. So basically we have more evidence of cultists in the city. Was there a trigger over here that I was able to hit? I guess not. Okay.
Follow me, or don't.
They will work against our resolve.
Alright, a lot more marauders. Archer, rookie, archer, regular marauder. Okay, who's up first? Lan is up first. Take down the
Every
big guy.
strike count. Did you see that?
Good job. Ah, critical hit. Good job, Lan. You at least contribute to the damage.
The spirits demand your blood.
Alright. Sela, can you get in? Successful charge? Yep. Nope. Okay, it looks like I'm still dealing with the charge bug in this game. Alright.
Savvy or zappy? Why not both?
Alright. Ember does have Cure Light Wounds. And let's do Ear-Piercing Scream on the Archer. Then Grymstone. Get up here in his face.
You've crossed the wrong line.
So we have people looting houses during a demon apocalypse. Good job. You guys don't understand what compassion
I
is.
won't let you hurt my friends.
Okay. So we have two Crusaders that are being attacked by neophytes? Cultists, maybe?
You are today's sacrifice.
won't survive me.
At the very least, Lan, I appreciate the damage you spit out. Oh, hello. Unified Cleric, Sharpshooter. Okay, we got a couple different people hanging around the corner. Alright. Alright. Well, if you run over here. Actually, run over here. Did you just shoot Ember? I think you just signed up. I think you just signed up for some serious trouble. All right, Amelia, you come over around here, get some cover. Lan, you come over this way. All right,
The
Sela.
Inheritor, guide my blade.
Muljeef.
Distract them from me.
Sneak attack versus the guy who's sleeping. And Ember, you go duck behind here because I don't want you getting shot again.
Go for their heart.
You know, one thing I will say about this setting, at least, is it's a lot more interesting in terms of like cover and stuff during fights. All right. How are we doing on the map? Into the house area, exit.
This war must end.
Yes.
Kaylessa. What are you looking at, soldier? Like what you see? Knowledge World check 17, take a closer look. Don't know what she is. I know who you are. You're Kaylessa, cultist of Discari. Take a closer look at the elf. Oh my. Why would Foreign slander you? You're asking questions that are dangerous in and of themselves. I urge you to stop. The more you know about me, the higher the chances that a traitor's dagger will find its way into your back. Kaylessa, oh my gosh. Can't remember what they said. I'm going to hold off on attacking, at least for the moment. The outcast. That's right. Forn was the elven hunter who was hunting down a cultist of Discari. Okay.
I found
Ooh.
something.
Guys, you're supposed to be helping survivors. That doesn't mean standing there dramatically.
You can handle them, right? Time to share your treasures.
Oh, look. More things. Okay. Alright, Sela. Sela, you just get on up in there because that looks like a situation that's going to need a paladin. Have an injured citizen on the ground.
I'll cut you wide open.
Take care of the demon on the ground. Let's get Grymstone on up in there as well.
Make every strike count.
Cover me, all right?
Canobber's Crusader. Okay.
I think I did it.
Wait, you mean to tell me the magical earthquake that I saw is the source of the magical earthquake's damage? Sorry. I should not be that testy. Alright. So, okay, I've worked my way back around, so I kind of need to go. Scar is here.
Make way.
Okay. Yep, this is where I started. So, before I went up here, so if I do this way. And I want to go to my right. Wait, nope. I've already been to my right. Okay. So I want to go here. Alright. That's where I've seen before. Which is up. Okay. So I've been this way. So I need, I guess, to go down through here. Athletics DC 8. Oh. Aha! So I just had to build a passage through. Athletics DC 15.
Forget it.
Athletics check failed.
Well, this didn't go well.
I must rest to fight another day.
Alright. I was trying to. Oh, God. Sometimes a long-awaited rest does not bring the desired relief. What comes is a heavy, clinging sleep on the edge of wakefulness, where consciousness seems poised between reality and oblivion. The possible reasons for such disturbed slumber are myriad, strained nerves, perhaps, or a lingering reaction to trauma. Grymstone emerges from the oblivion of his leaden sleep like a drowned man dragging himself up from the depths of the swamp. The wound in his chest is burning like someone pressed an invisible brand to it. The wound is closed again, but the bloodstain on his shirt betrays its presence beneath. There is no time to investigate the cause behind his malaise. A trying day lies ahead. But how will Grymstone be up to the challenge if his thoughts are so muddled and his entire body aches like after a day's toil? Grymstone would just nonsense. I'm going to move ahead. As if a veteran adventurer could be frightened by a bad dream. A splash of water, a cold water enlightens his senses, and the weariness abates, retreating to the depths of his subconsciousness, but leaving the path open to return the next time Grymstone seeks refuge asleep. Grymstone recalls that he slept peacefully in Defender's heart. Perhaps a priest can explain what has happened. Did I get corruption? No. X. Camellia. Okay, she does have spell slots. Alright, what do we want to do for her second level spell slots? Protection from alignment sounds very useful, and cure moderate wounds. You didn't want to heal me in the street. Now you're on my team and you have to heal me. Alright. Ember's thrown around. Oh wait, Bless and Bane. Yeah, definitely pick up Bless. Ember, does Woljeev have any spells? Yeah, he's got his spells prepared. So, alright. Okay, she can't really do that much. Right. Camouflage. Oh, Woljeev will be good at that.
O light of the sword, Iomade, forgive me my sins, and do not leave me in the darkness. I am weak and undeserving of your grace, and still you grant it to me. And that means I still have something to hope for.
Successful cooking, no incident at night, successful camouflage, but the protective rituals are not working that well. Okay. Maybe that bonus to athletics checks.
I will fight.
Oh, what? What am I fighting? I was not expecting a fight scene here. Ah, okay. Giant flies. And a centipede. Alright. Amelia, you just step back here a little bit.
The spirits demand your blood.
Stab you or zap you. Not both.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Yes, yes.
I'll split you in half.
The heartbeat quickens.
Is that a Vrock? Oh, it's the Vrock that I accidentally summoned. Level 9. I'm sure this can't possibly end badly. Alright, who we got? We got... Good news is we have initiative on this guy.
Them for me.
Do we know how much HP he has? We do not. Oh. Can we put the Vrock to sleep? Yes, yes we can. That's hilarious.
Near them.
Alright, Lan, you move over here. We are not going to attack this guy yet because
Into the fray.
Oljeef, you run around over on the other side here.
Time to share your treasures.
Alright, the Vrock is awake now.
Surrender or else.
Maybe.
I don't like you.
You are today's sacrifice.
Alright.
You won't survive me.
Alright, Sela. Time for you to smite evil on this guy.
The
And
light. Take you.
No, that's not full plate. Darn, I was hoping that was full plate. Alright. Ramian, my beloved brother, I admire your zeal, of course, but would you not agree that this is hardly the time to be standing guard over a hole that no one will ever emerge from? Or perhaps you're concerned that someone will decide to go for a nighttime stroll and accidentally fall into it. Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to better use, for instance, fighting demons or clearing rubble, while the people trapped beneath it might still be alive? The face of this golden-curled Azamar is beautiful, even by the standards of his kind. His melodious voice sounds cheerful, but bitter reproach simmers in his gaze. Holroon, I remember you. Don't you dare call me brother, heretic. The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious in this stern old man. His armor is dented and covered in blood. His unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claw and fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony, his voice accustomed to barking orders is harsh and clipped. How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect the city, especially now, when followers of your temple were caught committing treason? To my mind, you are no different than demon worshippers, those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Ramian, everyone knows, my dearest prelate, that in your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you have long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe and good from evil. I kind of remember when he was grilling me while I was laying on the ground. That's what happened when my adepts, whose act of treason was a genuine attempt to save the city. And yet again, I am forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under rubble in our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task and not kept them here, surrounding a useless and utterly harmless hole in the ground. Harmless? Well, if it's on your say-so, then it must mean there's someone down there. Your associates, no doubt, and they're just waiting for us to abandon our post before they slink out and try to... The old man notices his approach. And you, I remember you. You appeared in my city the day the demons attack and Durindal have died. What are you doing here? Answer at once, or I'll have you strung up by your ankles before you know it. Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take on 100 of your sort. And what is that hideous creature? He says, looking at Lan. Lan, at your service, the mongrel ducks his head with a bow. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. We lived in Canabras my whole life. You haven't ever seen me before? Ah, it must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. We've been meaning to complain to the city's authorities that our paving stones have been needed repair for a long time. The First Crusade, so you're a mongrel. You obviously know human speech, surprisingly well, in fact. All right, let's be off with you. If he causes any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. I'm a crusader. I'm fighting to liberate Canopus from the demons. A crusader, you say? I'll be looking into you. You obviously don't know to whom you are speaking. I'm the one who decides who's a crusader and who's a traitor in this city. Holroon Shaput, prelate of Canopus, by the grace of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, and the city's defender against threats from within and without. And as we can see, you've done a sterling job protecting the city. I am Ramian of Edmay, prior of the Temple of Desna, which, alas, currently lies in ruins. Wise Holroon here believes it is vital to guard this hole in the ground from which he is certain demons will emerge at any moment. I've been trying to convince him that the city has far more urgent matters to deal with, for instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. I think Ramian may have a point. You know what? There may in fact be one matter that is more important than guarding this hole. I've put it off, and look where it's led us. I should have had you hung from the gates back when you dared to defend the gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkorians had hanged Arilu Vorlesh, okay, when they had a chance, there never would have been a war. I won't repeat their mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, seize this scum. Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times, but threatening to hang someone without trial, that is unworthy of a servant of Iomade. Thank you, Sela, for being smart. So he is an inquisitor of Iomade. All right. Lest you forget, girl, we may serve the same goddess, but you are not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Iomade, and I won't question yours. What precisely are you accusing Ramian of, Inquisitor? Treason. Not long before the city was attacked, several followers from his temple tried to secretly access the Wardstone and perform an unknown ritual over it. The Wardstone of Canabris, the gift of Iomade, the bringer of light, wrought by the hands of her herald, the first in the chain. And followers of that crazy runt goddess try to meddle with it using their magic and hearing a voice in their dreams. My soldiers almost had them caught when Ramian got in the way, allowing the traitors to go to ground. I made a mistake. I didn't have him locked in a cell and interrogated within an inch of his life. And now the city lies in ruins. It's time to rectify that mistake. I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, my people foresaw the attack on the city. They knew the Wardstone already carried the seed of corruption within itself, and they were simply trying to heal it. I've heard similar claims before. Now where was it? Ah, yes. From Sotten Vane, the traitor who brought down Dresden. The lessons of the past have taught us a great deal, and that's why I never believed you or your mob's lies, even for a second, and I was right. Okay. So, being forced into a corner here, got to make a choice. Options 3 and 5 are right out. I'm not going to side with Hulrune. He's clearly going off the deep end, and Grymstone would not say nothing. So the question is, would I go with the chaotic, don't lay a finger on him or you'll have to answer to me? Or would I reveal the light of heaven in hopes to sway him? You know, there are a lot of people in this game that my character would be tempted to punch in the face, and Hulrune's on the list, but I've been avoiding it so far. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try revealing the light of heaven. You are telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger. And later, under fractious circumstances, I would like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. Okay. It's not completely off his kilter, just mostly. But that can wait. Now I must deal with this filth once and for all. Oh, come on! Okay, don't lay a finger on him or you will have to answer to me. Ramian. Stop, you are the defenders of what remains of Canabris. Can't you think of anything better to do than be at each other's throats in the ruins of the city? I like you, Ramian. You have a brain. You're a fool, Holroon, you're a zealot and a murderer, but you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the wardstone was weakened, you wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked, you shooed me away. The truth is that my young adepts were trying to save the wardstone, and you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this tragedy are the demons, but you have done nothing to prevent it, and now you would still rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit that you were wrong, as always. He fled, the heretic. He's no doubt expecting you to rush off in pursuit. That won't work. What about you? If you truly have been marked out for a gift from heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go and bring back that filthy traitor. I am almost certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. Their attempt to bewitch the Warstone is clear proof Ramian must be captured. Where can I find Ramian? How should I know? The weasel can't have gone far. He turned invisible. He's probably hunkered down in some hole like the traitorous little rat he is, and he'll be sitting trembling waiting till he's dragged out of there. I see you suffered greatly in battle. So I recognize that he has lost some energy to demons. Okay. I can try to persuade him to go out and help people, but honestly, I feel like if he tries to go out and help people, he's just going to attack people. So you know what? Keep guarding this hole in the ground. You are doing a great job. You guard that hole in the ground, Holroon, and you just make sure that hole in the ground is safe. I'm going to go find Ramian and see if I can help him with anything. Ember recognizes, but it's true. You and the other knights tied us to. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting the bonfire. Father died, and then one of your knights changed his mind and pulls me from the flames. Then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape from the fire. That is a crime in itself, which means you have been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was finally fulfilled. You're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with. He didn't look the way he does now, all wrinkled and gray. He was young with a big mustache. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. This knight is a true hero. He just really, really wanted to protect his city, only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. You forgive him after what he did to you? He thought he was doing what was right. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was good, but you're really doing a bad thing that hurt someone. But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. Yeah, I'm still saying something to Holroon. You burned an innocent child at the stake. Hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive a fire? And what about the crow that's always flying around her? I advise you take a closer look at this innocent little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious. Let's go, Ember. Let's go. Bye-bye, kind knight. Okay. The demon invasion transformed all of Canabras into one great battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans, the demon lord Discari leading his hordes from the abyss, and the dragon Turindalev, the mightiest of the city's defenders, and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle moment by moment simply by looking at the ruins, from the chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive to bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing upon the ruins. It is Grymstone, and he is not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place. Like a gaze untethered from any observer, this mysterious force, unknown to mortal kind, silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Grymstone is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The past, present, and future stand before him as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks marring its splendor. What past does he see? What present does he see? What future does he see? And I don't know if I'm going to get to ask all three. Okay. Grymstone is in the here and now. I don't think he has the tactical wit to look to the future, and he doesn't strike me as super contemplative. So I think he would go for what present does he see. Ruins, blood, corpses, none of this perturbs the Aeon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive, the dead will be judged by Pharasma, all is as it should be. But the demons circling in the sky are prowling through the streets, creating a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals, the demon place is in the demon world. How sublime the world would be if everything knew its place. But even the demons aren't as aberrant as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the Aeon's eyes, its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the Aeon still existed, they would not stop until the crystal was unmade. But the Aeon is gone, and only their gaze remains. Grymstone picks the crystal up out of the dirt and stows it in his pocket. He is immortal, which means he has the power to decide what to do with it. Let's go with future. Good and evil, chaos and order, everything in its lawful place in the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the Aeon's withdrawal to eternally admire its beauty, which will never be threatened again. What past does he see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life. Although the one and life are inappropriate terms for aeons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. This aeon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of the planes and destroy the world womb. The chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Discari back to the abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the demon lord cut the Aeon down. After allowing the hero to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed Aeon is killed. Is killed even appropriate here for an entity that is so removed from life and death as we understand them? Used up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness unless someone decides to preserve the Aeon within themselves. Will the hero take on this power so that he may again look at the world through another's eyes, or will he allow it to vanish? Guess I'll retain the power? The spirit of the Aeon dwells out of sight deep in Grymstone's soul, like a pair of magical spectacles stowed away from the moment when the hero once again needs to look at the world through another's eyes. Okay, so now I've got some Angel and some Aeon going on. Okay, so it is getting a little bit late, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause my game here. But before I jump out of this session, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the storytelling choices here. This was a hard portion of the playthrough for me, and I'm going to go ahead and say that I actually got a little bit triggered by some of the stuff in this portion of the game. And so we'll go ahead and start with that. We're going to start by talking about Ember. So,
Abandoned. What was I saying just now? Want to play together?
so I have mentioned in some other videos on this channel that I have worked with people that have intellectual and developmental disabilities, and they seem to be portraying Ember as having some form of developmental disability. I'm not sure exactly what they're going for here, but some of the language that they use definitely seem to portray her that way. And on top of all of that, you have stories of Woljeef throwing rocks at her. You have Camellia just insulting her as dirty and filthy. You have the story of Holroon trying to have her burned at the stake. And as someone who has worked very closely with people with disabilities, and as someone who has seen the incredible discrimination that can occur against members of the IDD community, I kind of wish they hadn't gone there, or at least that they would have warned me before they did, because I was not ready for those story elements. I have done a couple of videos on the subject of disabilities and storytelling. I will try to throw some links in this video if I remember to when I'm doing the posting. This really came up against some stuff that hits way too close to my heart, and like, I honestly want to kick Woljeef and Camellia out of my party right now. Just like the way they spoke makes me so angry that this really bothered me. And storytellers, let me just say, always be aware when you are coming up with against very emotional topics like this. You want to be very careful about how you include them in your game, because the fact that I didn't know this was happening is kind of leaving a sour taste in my mouth right now. Not because things like this haven't happened, but because I know things like this have happened, and I have worked with people who maybe not have suffered to this extreme, but they have suffered very severe discrimination. This was a rough one for me. And on top of that, the story that they are telling here, you are getting some very extreme views of religion, which is something that is historically true. I think you all have heard me talk enough on this channel to know that I am a religious person myself. And so, like, I am grateful to see the portrayal of religious people like Sela in this game. Like, she is well written, and I think the writers behind her have a good idea of the positive side of a religious lifestyle, but at the same time, there have been plenty of occasions in history where there are very negative um, things that have come out of what I would consider to be a very twisted version of religious living. And the writers of this story are not pulling any punches. They are throwing very positive examples, but also very ugly negative examples. And you'll even notice that they're kind of playing on this, like, um, you've got two different followers of Iomade, one of whom is a very positive example, and one of whom I about wanted to kick into that hole he was guarding. So that was truly and deeply emotional. Um, Honestly, I'm still kind of processing everything I've been going through. I was kind of hoping for some of this stuff to slow down so I could process. And then just after they kind of hit me with the Aeon and what are you viewing life through and all of that stuff, like that, like how is that the least emotional thing that I am responding to right now? You know, um, wow. So on on the positive side of the storytelling here, I mean, they are definitely getting very emotional reactions. Um, I am already immensely protective of Ember, probably because some of the real world things that it's bringing up for me. Um, the the debate between the Inquisitor and Ramian, and just I'm, I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. Um, these were some heavy storytelling choices. On the positive side of things, they certainly caused me to have some very strong emotions. And, you know, that's something you want when you write. You certainly want to bring out strong emotions in your readers. You want them to connect with the highs and the lows of the story. I don't know if I would have made the choices that they made here because especially with the stuff with Ember and people who are thinking about killing her for some kind of divine blessing. I'm not happy with that storytelling choice. Um, you know, if I'm being honest, the stuff they did here probably would not happen at my gaming table um, because I feel like they went so far. You know, I'm not saying these aren't real topics. I'm not saying you can't deal with them, but this is definitely one of those areas where if I was going to do a story like this as a storyteller, I'm talking to my players beforehand. I'm making sure people are comfortable, and I'm making sure people have some way to opt out if this kind of content is too much for them. And I do think there would be a number of people, certainly a number of people I know because of the industry I've worked in, who would come to a situation like this, and if they were not prepared, it would tear them to shreds. And I know because it has been tearing me to shreds. Um, there's some good stuff in this game. I'm still engaged. I'm still interested. There's a lot of stuff that I want to see where they're going with the story, and I am certainly glad that I was able to stop something traumatizing from happening. But of every video I've done in this playthrough so far, this is far and away my least favorite episode of this, I guess. Um, just because the stuff was so heavy and I was not prepared for what they were going to throw my way. So, end of this video, I guess, mature content warning. When I'm editing this video, I'll try to put a mature content warning at the start of this video, just because I do feel like there would be some people triggered by this, because I know it was triggering me. Um, anyways, thank you so much for sticking with me and being a part of this. We will pick this story back up and keep going, and we'll see what else they have in store. Hopefully, they will stop traumatizing me so much with this. But anyways, before I go, do all the YouTube stuff, like the video, share it if you enjoyed. Well, maybe don't share it if it would trigger some of your friends. I'll leave that up to you. Certainly like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more conversations about TTRPGs. You can check out my Discord and my Patreon if you're interested in those. I'll have some links down in the video description. But thank you so much for being a part of the conversation, and have a wonderful day.